Good morning everyone. Today I am going to explain monotone convergence theorem, and this is the sixth video of monotone convergence theorem. Let Fn be an increasing sequence of non-negative measurable functions, and let F be the limit n going to infinity. Fn means our sequence Fn is converging to F. Then integral of f is same as that limit integral of fn. So now what is given to us in this theorem? Given that this sequence is non-negative, this sequence is measurable, and this sequence is increasing. Increasing means what? F1 is less than equal to F2 is less than equal to F3 and so on. And also this sequence is converging to F. So we want to show that the integral of f is same as that limit integral of fn. Okay, so now just see the proof. Since by Fatau's lemma, we know that whenever we have a sequence of non-negative measurable functions converging to f, then the integral of f is less than equals to the limit of integral of fn's. So we can apply here the Fatau's lemma, and using Fatau's lemma we will get this inequality. Further, we note that for each n of our fn is less than equal to f. Now why? Because given that this sequence is increasing sequence. Increasing sequence means f1 is less than equal to f2, is less than equal to f3, is less than equal to f4, and so on less than equal to f. So for each n, fn is less than equal to f. So by the properties, integral of f1 over e is less than equal to the integral of f. Okay. Since this inequality holds for each n, so this is true for limit also. So we will get this inequality. So now combine these two inequalities, we get these the integral of f is same as that the limit n going to infinity integral of fn. And this thing we have to prove. So it means in Fatau lemma, we are having this inequality that integral of f is always less than equal to limit integral of fn. They will be equal if this sequence is increasing, right? And this is the monotone convergence theorem. So in case to prove monotone convergence theorem, we need to prove Fatau's lemma. Now see the corollary. Let un be a sequence of non-negative measurable functions, and let f be the limit of this series, means this series is convergent. Then we have to show the integral of f is same as that summation n going from 1 to infinity integral of un. Now just see, since given that this series is convergent, so it means its nth partial sum, that is going to f as n goes to infinity. So we denote fn to be the sum of first n terms. So what is fn? It is u1 plus u2 plus u3 till up to un. So clearly when you take limit n going to infinity of fn, this side it becomes the series from going from 1 to infinity, and which is nothing but f. So we get a sequence fn which is going to f. Another observation is, since these all uns are non-negative, so therefore this sequence fn is increasing. Now why? Our f1 is what? It is nothing but the first term u1. What is the f2? It is the sum of first two terms u1 plus u2. Since both u1 and u2 they are non-negative, so clearly f1 is less than equal to f2. Similarly f3, it is the sum of first three terms u1 plus u2 plus u3. Clearly it is greater than equals to u1 plus u2, which is nothing but f2, and so on. So we get this sequence is increasing sequence. So Fn is increasing, Fn is convergent, and Fn is measurable, because we know that if u1, u2, u3 they are measurable, then the sum of measurables is again measurable. Okay, so Fn is measurable, Fn is non-negative, Fn is increasing, so we can apply monotone convergence over here. Okay, so it means integral of f is same as that limit n going to infinity integral of Fn. Right, now substitute the value of Fn over here. This is nothing but summation I varying from 1 to n ui. Okay, but we know that by the properties that the integral of u1 plus u2 plus u3 until up to un can be written as integral of u1 plus integral of u2 plus integral of u3 and so on. So we can take summation to be outside, right? And when you take n going to infinity, you will get this is nothing but the complete series going from 1 to infinity. So integral of f is equal to series n going from 1 to infinity integral of un. This we have to prove. So this is just by the theorem monotone convergence. We have to define a sequence Fn in such a way it satisfies all the properties, all the hypotheses of monotone convergence theorem. Now this is a problem which shows that monotone convergence theorem need not hold good for decreasing sequence of functions. So rather taking increasing sequence, if we consider decreasing sequence of functions, the theorem need not hold good. For this, we consider a sequence Fn of the functions defined on R by this. So what is Fnx? It is 0 when x is less than n. It is 1 when x is greater than equal to n. So now just see what is the value of F1. It is 0 when x is less than 1 and after 1 the value is 1. What is F2? Before 2 0, after 2 1. F3 before 3 0 and after 3 1. Now just see what is your F1. Let's suppose this is 1. So before 1 it is 0 and after 1 it is 1. What is F2? Now just see, before 2 it is 0 and after 2 it is 1. So clearly our F2, it is less than equal to F1, because in case of F1 after 2 the value is 1, right? But between 1 and 2 again the value is 1. So this is F1 is greater than equals to F2 because we have more points in case of F1. Similarly, F3, before 3 the value is 0 and after 3 the value is 1. So F3 should be less than equals to F2. It should be less than equal to F1. So we are having decreasing sequence of non-negative measurable functions. Okay, so Fn is decreasing sequence of non-negative measurable functions. Also, when you find its limit n going to infinity, so what we get, x is less than infinity, the value is 0 and after infinity the value is 1. it means the limit is 0. So our sequence is converging to 0. So the value of f is 0 over here. So clearly the integral from minus infinity to infinity, because it is defined on R, this is 0 because fx is 0. Now what is the value of integral of fn? From minus infinity to infinity, it will be split into two integrals. One is going from minus infinity to n, other is going from n to infinity. From minus infinity to n, the value of function is 0, and from n to infinity, the value of function is 1. Here it should be fn, not fx. It should be fn. So substitute the value of fn. It is 0, minus infinity to n to infinity it is 1. So this integral is 0, but when you integrate this, you get the value is infinity. So limit n going to infinity is also infinity. So now just see, this is not equal to this integral. So if we take decreasing sequence of functions, the next is, what do you mean by integrable or summable function? A non-negative measurable function f defined on a set E, which is also measurable, is said to be integrable or summable if the value of integral is finite. So now just see, still now we have done this thing. If the value of integral f is equal to the supremum of h less than equal to f, integral of h, where h is bounded measurable function less than equal to f and vanishes outside a set of finite measure, then we say f has Lebesgue integral. So Lebesgue integral of f exists. But if this value is finite also, then we say our function is integrable or summable. So integrable or summable word will use for finite value of integral. So remark, every non-negative measurable function has integral, but only those functions which have finite integrals are called integrable or summable. Okay, so we can define Lebesgue integral for every non-negative measurable function in terms of bounded function. However, we will say this is Lebesgue integrable or summable if the value is finite. So now the next theorem is, let f and g be non-negative measurable functions. So clearly Lebesgue integral exists. Now the next is, if f is greater than g on e and f is integrable over e. Integrable means the value of integral of f is finite. We have to show g is also integrable over e, and the integral of f minus g is same as that integral of f minus integral of g. Now just see the proof. Integral of f over e can be written as add and subtract g, since we know that by the properties we can separate its sum, right? Now what is given, that f is integrable over e means this value is finite, right? So now just see, since the functions f minus g is non-negative, why? Because f is greater than g. G is also non-negative measurable. These two are measurable, so difference of two measurable is again measurable. So these are non-negative measurable functions. Okay, so it means they are Lebesgue, they have Lebesgue integration, right? So now the value of this integral is finite. They are also non-negative. So the value of this integral is also non-negative. The value of this integral is also non-negative. And the sum of these two non-negative integrals is finite. It means each integral is finite. So this should be finite and this should be finite. So from here we are having the integral of g is finite, and this thing we have to show that g is also integrable over e. Whenever f is integrable over e, g is also integrable over e. Moreover, we have to show this thing. Since all these integrals are finite, so we can take this integral to be this side. So integral of f minus g over e is integral of f minus integral of g over e. And this thing we have to prove. Okay, once again see, when will we say a non-negative measurable function to be integrable? If the value of integral is finite. So if f is greater than g, then clearly integral of g will be less than integral of f. And since integral of f is finite, so integral of g is also finite, right? So from here we are having that integral of g finite implies g is integrable over e. But moreover we have to show this thing, so that's why we consider this. Okay, thanks.